across to Pradeep Datta, who's joining us, our senior editor. Also joining us on the show, Professor Sangeet Ragi, a political analyst, as well as Tausif Ahmed, a lawyer. So Pradeep, if I can come to you first, this is a 3-day event. If you can quickly tell us what's on their agenda.
Similarly, one thing is quite clear, that this is a conspiracy against India, a malicious campaign where they are trying to demonize Hindus and portray and project India in bad light. I think they have to understand one thing. If you look at the DNA of Hindus, it believes in ahimsa, it's all about tolerance, it's all about peace. And if you look at the India as a country, it never ever follows that expansionist agenda except for ensuring safety and security of their own borders. That's what India believes in. And three, what they are trying to do through this program, they are trying to generate a xenophobic hate against India, Indians and Hindus, but through misinformation campaign, through false narrative that they are going to churn out. And with this, they are going to endanger life of the Hindu community people who are putting up in different parts of the world, because the objective is one, that they are trying to tell the Western world that Hindutva is not a favorable ideology. And the timing is when there's an eve of 9/11 attack. Twin Tower was brought down 20 years back. In fact, how Al-Qaeda was able to kill more than 3,000 people and about 3,000 were injured. When jihadist Islamic terrorism is spreading its tentacle, and the world is really grappling with that reality, how to deal with this Islamic terrorism. And at that point of time, you're trying to invent something like Hindutva terrorism and trying to deal with that, saying that it needs to be dismantled. One can very well understand that there is a malicious campaign and they are deliberately doing it, realizing that the popularity of charismatic leader like Narendra Modi has been 70%. There was a recent survey done. It is a visceral hatred for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because there is a lobby who had been trying to project towards the world that he is a Hindu Hitler. And so they are trying to equate Hinduism with Nazism. But there is no, I think, those similarity between the two. If one looks at the way Hindu community is putting up in different parts of the world, they are not only trying to bring good name for the country, but they're also trying to contribute to the economy of the other countries. So they are living with bonhomie and a camaraderie. But there are certain organizations, they're turning a blind eye to the Islamic terrorism. How? Because of Islamic terrorism, there had been attack on the Hindus in early 90s. Because of the Islamic terrorism, more than 4.5 lakh Hindus had to abandon their hearths and home. Even after 3 decades, they are living in homes away from homes. They are trying to deny Hindu genocide. They will not be talking about that. They will not be talking about 26/11 attack by Marx-sponsored terrorism. They will not be talking about Taliban, who have already formed a caliphate terror brigade, which has become a threat for not only Central Asia, South Asia, but maximum part of the world. That's one of the reasons that it was taken up during BRICS summit. So the world is talking about Islamic jihadism, and they are trying to invent something called Hindutva that need to be dismantled. So there's a malicious campaign. I think government of India need to take up with US in this regard, because this is the same Tukre lobby and gang that had been working, Hindu Maisik group that had been working in JNU, and it's now extension of the same, what we can see in United States of America, where several universities have come forward. See, they have created a smoke screen. Nobody knows exactly who is funding this seminar, who are main people behind this. Yes, they have kept a few names, but there is somebody behind this. There is a bigger conspiracy, and that has been going on for quite some time. And we have seen that after CA, there had been repeated efforts, especially after abrogation of Article 370, how that false narrative is being churned out against India, where they are trying to tell the world that India is not a country where we can live.
Absolutely. The focus may be Hindutva, but the chances are very high that the entire attack is going to be on Hindus, on the Indian administration, the government as well. Let me in fact go across to our guests as well. Tausif Ahmed, if I can come to you. Do you think it's ironical that on the eve of 9/11, at a time where the Twin Towers were taken down by Islamist jihadists, then you have Afghanistan turmoil which is spilling over. Literally, we can see the tentacles of jihadi terror across the world, that now is the time when people are holding 3-day conferences about Hindutva?
You see, seeing terrorism from the prism of religion is dangerous. You know, Nathuram Godse killed Mahatma Gandhi not because his religion asked him to, but because Nathuram Godse was a sick-minded person, and therefore he killed Mahatma Gandhi. But what we have seen in
that
India...
wasn't my question,
is
Tausif Ahmed. I would like to request you that do you think it is legitimate or do you think it's ironic to have a anti-Hindutva campaign being propagated in US? Do you defend it?
So I see if a program of this kind is being organized in US, it is clearly up to the US administration that they must think whether people will benefit from this.
I asked
program.
you, do you think anyone will benefit? Do you think it is called for, Tausif Ahmed?
Any program, whether it is in USA or in India, which propagates hate in the name of religion, whether against Muslims or against Hindus, has to be banned. It should not be allowed.
So you'd like to call out and condemn this 3-day Hindutva, anti-Hindutva campaign? Will you say that on national television, that you condemn it, you don't stand by it?
I condemn all those who look at terrorism and with the prism of religion and try to justify hate against a particular community in the name of religion because people do
so you condemn this?
Benefit.
You condemn the Hindutva, anti-Hindutva campaign? I will ask you, I'm asking you the same question because I'm not getting a direct answer. Tausif Ahmed, I will ask you again. Will you condemn this 3-day conference against Hindutva in the US? Yes, no?
Malegaon bomb blast terror accused Sadhwa Pragvi was made member of parliament by BJP, the ruling dispensation in India.
Are you defending it or are you against the conference? Tausif Ahmed.
The idea of romancing with hate.
You can talk about what you want. If you want me, I will list out what Islamist terror has done. And I will list out what Islamist terror has done after the Afghan takeover by the Taliban regime. I will tell you instances from New Zealand. I'll tell you what has happened in Iraq. I will tell you what is happening in Pakistan as well. By Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Tausif Ahmed, I will ask you again. Will you give me a direct answer or not? Do you stand by this?
I am giving you a direct answer.
This is not a direct answer.
Answer cannot be as direct as this.
Will you call it out? Yes or no?
Cannot be seen.
Will you condemn this? Yes or no?
If you keep telling Muslim terrorists, and there will be people, there are people who are non-Muslims, who are Christians, who are Hindus, who are...
No one said Muslim terrorists. Tausif Ahmed, please do not link religion to it. No one has said this is Muslim terrorism. It isn't. I have great objection to what you just said. No one has said this is Muslim terrorism. This is Islamist, jihadist terrorism. Do not link Muslims to terror, Tausif Ahmed. Do not link Muslims to terror. This is something that we cannot accept. We cannot accept that. And I'm sorry, I differ with you. Our channel's ideology differs with you. There's nothing called Muslim terror. Tausif Ahmed, not only have you not come out and condemned the Hindutva, anti-Hindutva conference, now you are linking Muslims to terror. That is unacceptable to me. That is unacceptable to all of us, and I think all our viewers as well. There's a big difference. Professor Sangeet Ragi, I will come to you because I'm not getting any direct answers. In fact, Tausif Ahmed's made matters worse by now saying that this is Muslim terror. It isn't. Sangeet Ragi, do you think that an anti-Hindutva conference like this is going to malign Hindus? There are already Hindus under attack. This is something the FBI has said in its 2018 report. Professor Ragi.